16-year-old Emma Thompson was known for being bright, with a sharp mind and an eye for creativity. But recently, she had been coasting through life, taking everything for granted. Her once stellar grades were slipping. It was a sunny Saturday morning when her mom, Sarah, walked into the living room. Emma was lounging on the sofa, scrolling mindlessly through social media. Her backpack sat unopened in the corner, filled with incomplete assignments, and the chores Sarah had asked her to do the day before were still untouched. "Emma," her mom called out gently, but with a hint of frustration. "Have you finished your homework yet?" Emma didn't even look up from her phone. "I'll get to it later," she muttered, her eyes fixed on the screen. Sarah sighed, seeing the pile of dishes and laundry that had been neglected for days. She was concerned, but she also knew it was time for a serious conversation. She walked over to the sofa and placed a hand on Emma's phone, gently pulling it away. "No more distractions. You promised you'd do your work and your chores yesterday, and nothing's been done." Emma rolled her eyes, sinking further into the cushions. "I just don't feel like it. It's all so boring and pointless." Before Sarah could respond, Emma's dad, David, came home from running errands and entered the room. He immediately noticed the tension in the air. "What's going on?" Sarah turned to him. "I can't get through to her. She's been sitting on that couch all day and not doing anything she promised. The homework's still unfinished and the chores are piling up." David's face hardened. "Emma, get up," he said firmly. "We need to talk." Reluctantly, Emma sat up, tossing her phone onto the table, and rolled her eyes. "What is it now?" "This behavior is unacceptable," David said, his voice stern. "Your laziness is affecting your schoolwork, the household, and your future. We've talked about this before, but nothing's changing. Your mom and I can't keep letting this slide." Emma crossed her arms over her chest, feeling defensive. "I don't see the point in all these stupid chores and assignments. They don't even matter." Sarah sat down beside her, her voice calm but firm. "It's not about the assignments or the chores themselves, Emma. It's about learning responsibility. Everything we ask you to do teaches you something about discipline, effort, and respect. Laziness might feel good for a while, but it will only leave you with regrets in the end," David added. "We love you, Emma, and we want the best for you. But success doesn't come from doing nothing. It comes from putting in the work. And if you continue to avoid your responsibilities, there will be consequences." Emma felt a sharp pang of guilt. She knew they were right, but at the same time, the thought of facing her unfinished work and responsibilities felt overwhelming. Still, she didn't say anything, unsure of how to defend herself. Sarah's tone grew more serious. "I'm sorry, Emma, but you need to understand that there are consequences for ignoring your duties." She walked over to a chair and pulled out a wooden spoon, the one they used for disciplining when things had gotten out of hand. It wasn't meant for harm, but to teach her a lesson in a firm and memorable way. Emma felt a lump form in her throat. "Mom, please," she said, her voice trembling. "I'll do better, I swear." But Sarah's resolve didn't waver. "I'm sorry, honey, but I need you to understand how serious this is." She gave Emma a gentle tap on the back of her legs, enough to make her understand the weight of her actions. It was a sharp reminder that no matter how much Emma tried to push back, she had to learn the consequences of avoiding responsibility. After a few moments, Sarah set the spoon aside. "You're going to sit here, on this sofa, and think about what you've been doing. You're going to think about how your actions have been affecting the household, your future, and yourself. And when you're ready to take responsibility for what you've done, you can start by getting up, finishing your homework, and doing your chores. No more excuses." Emma sat still, letting the sting of the moment sink in. It wasn't the punishment that hurt. It was the realization that her parents were disappointed and that she had let herself slip into a habit of avoiding things she once cared about. The rest of the day was quiet. Emma reflected on her behavior, feeling a deep sense of regret for the laziness she had let overtake her. She understood now that laziness wasn't a small issue. It was something that could hold her back from everything she wanted in life. Later that evening, Emma walked up to her parents who were sitting at the dinner table and took a deep breath. "I'm sorry, Mom, Dad," she said sincerely. "I've been lazy, and I know it. I'll do better. I promise. David and Sarah exchanged a look of relief and pride. We know you will, Emma, Sarah said softly. We just need you to put in the effort. It's not about perfection, but about doing your best every day. The next few weeks saw a change in Emma. She was up earlier, tackling her assignments,